Welcome to the Local Marketing Source Weekly Update, brought to you by localmarketingsource.com. This update is taken from the Local Marketing Source Professional Development Program for local marketers.
This week's Local Marketing Update is brought to you by Scott Gallagher. Scott is the co-founder of Local Marketing Source and has become the recognized expert in providing online marketing services to local businesses. Follow Scott on Twitter @ScottGallagher5 and on Facebook.com/ScottPGallagher.
Hey everyone, Scott Gallagher here for our weekly faculty call. Sorry about that delayed start, just a couple of technical difficulties, but nonetheless here we are. This is our weekly faculty call for Local Marketing Source and our weekly update brought to you by localmarketingsource.com. Today being Wednesday, May 9th, and next week's call is going to be recorded on Wednesday, May 16th at 4 p.m. Now, we don't have any housekeeping items today, so we're just going to get right into the update, and then I will open the floor to live questions. The recording, you will not be hearing the questions, but on the faculty call recording, you will for LMS students. So having said that, we've got some updates this week for Google Places. It's actually been a little, quite some time. I mean, sometime in Google's world could be 60 days, but Google has rolled out updates to their bulk upload tool. Now, for those of the people that are relatively new in the industry, this is a feature that was launched back in '09, and it never really worked very well. There was a lot of problems for that, and it basically created challenges for businesses that had a lot of multiple locations. And essentially, you would put all of your locations onto Excel sheets and upload them to Google. And so, Google's new tool, basically, it's just much more user-friendly. Like, you can see all of your locations at once. You think, why couldn't I do that before? Why couldn't I search through all of my listings or filter certain information for certain listings or identify misspellings in listings? And then they also have a feature on there on give some feedback. With some videos, and Google is continually providing support for education for small and medium-sized businesses to do this, and this is a tool that is going to allow them to go after some of the larger companies. Why it's taken this long, I don't know, but that seems to be Google. Some things they do very quickly, other things they take quite a bit of time. Now, we've been reporting on a bug for Google Places. Mike Blumenthal's given us an update on we do not support this location bug. Google says that that bug is fixed, but the message is still going to persist for some time. You know, it really amazes me that how many places does a programmer have to go and look to be able to fix a particular bug like that? Why can they fix a bug but they're still displaying some particular messages? I don't know. It is what it is. But we have overcome that challenge. Now, we were mentioning a little bit last week about some updates to Bing Webmaster tool, and now Google's Webmaster tool has got another update with some additional features on the dashboards and some additional navigation. But basically, the changes come down to an updated dashboard, new navigation on the left-hand side, and a compact view for getting information. Now, more so on that within a tool that we use within Google Webmaster Tools is called Google Analytics. And as we know, some time ago, Yahoo Site Explorer stopped providing link information we did have to use Google's Webmaster tools in different ways to get link information, as well as using some paid tools, such as SEO Moz or Market Samurai as an example. Now, and us as SEOers have continually argued that information, yeah, it's valuable for the SEO community, the black hat SEO community, but it's also valuable for perhaps, say, a white hat. And so there's a feature inside of Google Analytics called Discover, and it allows you to find all the backlinks through the Social Center. And it's identifying, and it's, this is Google's saying that they're providing essentially another layer of what they call social insight into showing which of your content attracts links. And it allows you, or they hope that it's going to allow the business or the website in question to track conversations, same conversations among different sites that all link to the specific content. So we could use that in different ways. For example, if content is created on a blog, you can go and look at the backlink count for that blog post and identify which social sites and social content have your content in discussion. Unfortunately, that backlink information is not easy to find within Google Analytics. There's a social tab on there, and you click on the social reports, and that's on the first page, on the first tab. There's an area that says social reports. And then when you see that page, you click on one of the specific URLs that's on that page, and then you're going to turn around and you're going to see the ability to run that report. There's a tab called Pages when you click on that, and it will run the backlink count for that particular page. Yahoo has been back in the news. This CEO is just amazing. If you remember a couple of weeks ago, he publicly came out and said, "Oh, Yahoo doesn't need a change." And we snarled at that. We did a survey online to see, what is your perception of Yahoo? What is it? Nobody on a faculty call here was able to collectively decide with any majority as to what Yahoo is. I think that was enough evidence, at least in our own little test environment, to say that maybe he's wrong. And now this Yahoo's back in the spotlight because he fortified his resume. Who the heck does that at that level, to say that he got a particular degree? Now he wants to apologize and continue to focus on the company. But wait a minute, you're not qualified. Now, this is probably the biggest takeaway from this update, and this happens to come from Yelp. They provided some good studies, and one thing that you'll constantly hear me say is that businesses have to be better businesses to flourish on the internet. It's not about getting links. It's not about all of this extra exposure and all citations and going and getting a bunch of reviews. And we know some of that stuff works, and we know we can get rankings for that, but we're missing the boat. The fact of the matter is exposure that's out there. The old syndrome, people eat at busy restaurants. So if you have a busy restaurant and you get people talking about you and moving around about you, you're going to get exposure that's out there, period. That exposure is going to be picked up by the search engines, which in turn become backlinks. That's naturally what they want to do. And so what are we doing as SEOers? We're trying to create a natural environment that looks like the busy restaurant syndrome. Well, why don't we take a step back? And rather than focusing on the internet and delivering the means that the search engines are looking for, if businesses just become better businesses, they're going to naturally rank well on the internet. At least that's the theory behind all of this. Well, we can dissect that as much as we want. As an example, customer service. Businesses that make their customers happy. What are those customers going to say? Well, let's say that company in question has a review acquisition system. They're encouraging customers to participate on the internet, engage in conversations. They're going to use words like this company was friendly. This company was amazing. They had good prices. They're super. They're very helpful. They're awesome. These are all words that are going to be spread around the particular internet. They're going to influence conversion when other people read about them. But they're also going to demonstrate that that business is active and they've got an active audience, that they're not trying to fortify or manipulate a search engine. That's the social layer. Why does a company like Google decide that their entire objective, everything centered around their business today and who they're being led by Larry, is centered around their social layer? Why? Well, it's pretty simple, is that they built their business off of an algorithm that can be manipulated. It's almost near impossible to create footprints and manipulate a search engine if it's looking at social channels. Well, Facebook doesn't give them any social content, so they've got that content internally within their network. Google needs it to move forward. Content is ranked based off of human interaction. Businesses are no different. So if we make businesses better businesses, such as understanding their business challenges, i.e. customer service, if they're not in alignment with thresholds that we learn as average on the internet, then maybe their business is not a great business and they need to improve their customer service because the internet is telling them that they're not up to speed with their competition on items like customer service. So if that's true, then in theory, by improving customer service, they should improve their rankings. They should improve their business. Isn't that what we want to do for marketers at the end of the day? We don't care about rankings. If we're making them money and they're giving us money to make them money, keep giving me money so I can keep making you money. Pretty simple. So Yelp did a study indicating the obvious, that customer service has big impact on Yelp ratings. Well, we can assume that this goes across the board. Yelp, being one of the most trusted portals on the internet, does hold true for a lot of different pieces of data that we've collected in the past. But customer service is the single greatest influence on ratings that end up on these portal sites. It's not the product being delivered. It's not how well that product solves the problem. It's not the ongoing relationship. It's not how clean the place is, how available their washrooms are. It doesn't have to do with their name, their brand. It doesn't even have to do with their past history. The single greatest factor influencing business success on the internet is customer service. In that moment, how nice you are. What if you're having a bad day, or one of your employees is having a bad day, or your customer's employee is having a bad day, and they tick that person off? You know, I went into the gas station a couple of days ago, and I was getting gas, and the first thing the lady said to me, she was bending down getting some papers. She's like, "Oh, those fucking customers." I'm like, "What?" She swore. She's complaining about customers. She didn't greet me. She didn't say hi. She was frustrated. And then she complained to me about what she was frustrated about. It's because a customer came in and told her the pumps weren't working. She knew they weren't working, but she had been working on this darn printer for 15 minutes. That customer didn't know, but he didn't do anything wrong. So something as small as not greeting a customer by an employee could ultimately cost that business hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. If I go and left a negative review, what kind of implication would that have? What if the waitress at a restaurant, what if the plumber forgets to do one of his tasks and there's a leak and he's got to come back. He had a fight with his fiance and he's not in a good mood and complains about coming back. It's extremely important for businesses to focus on customer service because it gets distributed on the internet. These reviews do a lot of things. They influence conversion dramatically. People that leave good service are people that are active on the internet. People that are active on the internet are what we call the power social influencers. They're the ones that the reviews are going to show up in the SERPs because their profiles have authority. These are the ones that leave a combination of positive and negative reviews. These are the ones that businesses have to seek out and find out who these of their customers are and exploit that opportunity to ultimately gain. Make it easy and feasible to leave reviews. Create a review acquisition card with maybe a QR code scanner on it. One of my students did that, and another student created their own version. If you're an LMS student, just go into the portal and download it from our faculty calls. PSD's there. Why aren't we as marketers focus on trying to make our customers better businesses and demonstrating to them the importance of this aspect? Reviews also create service area and trust for service area. Exposure, greater propensity to show up. So it's nice of Yelp to come out and say this. They use some extremely strong words to quote them, but what we have found is that customer service plays an incredibly crucial role when it comes to having a strong or a poor rating on Yelp. They also did a like a word cloud to identify the top words. I thought this was helpful for marketers because if we understand what across the board what a lot of people are saying, what they've said the most, and what makes the biggest impact, what influences human behavior to go and leave a review, the number one reason is friendly. Friendly. Every business that you're working with, you want to drive the fact to them that every customer interaction that they could possibly, every interaction that they have, they're as friendly as possible. Do you get what I'm saying? If the culture of the company becomes extremely friendly, you're ultimately supporting your goals of search engine optimization. All right, well, that seems to be coming to the end of my notes. And this is going to be the conclusion of this week's weekly update.
That concludes this Local Marketing Weekly Update, brought to you by LocalMarketingSource.com. This update is provided from the Local Marketing Source Professional Development Program for local marketers. Visit LocalMarketingSource.com for additional resources focused on online marketing for local businesses.